All right, TJ, it's time to slate. You know, we were doing kind of a tribute to live performances, and we want to get everything in sync, and that's why we do these slates. Even though now we are recording on Riverside.fm. Riverside.fm. No slates needed. Tracks automatically aligned using the magic of technology.
Yeah, here's the actual link if you want to not bomb our show. Our show's a bomb already. What do they call it? What do they call the max headroom thing of the on internet?
Right. Yeah, when somebody hacked into live TV in like 1987 in the Chicagoland area, and then they were dressed like Max Headroom.
I'll get you a hot drink, miss.
Some dry
Didn't they hack the coordinates? It was somewhere between the Sears Tower and the WGN studios and the WTTW studios, and somebody was able to hotwire into the live broadcast feed. So here's the link. It's riverside.fm/studio/untitled-lowercase score.org/Migsfield. Okay, so we'll slate even though Riverside.fm already syncs up and aligns our audio, so we don't need to slate. 3, 2, 1. Untitled Beatles podcast.
Tony, are you saying that now you and I are in sync? Hey, Casey, cue that one song that was popular when you were in high school and Tony and I were already embittered.
I feel like I've been embittered since age 11. Also, I'm more One Direction, Tej.
Not what I've heard.
Whoa.
Oh, topical jokes. Tony, we've been asked to address what's happening topically right now. And I'm talking about ointment. And I hate to start with something this is going to upset probably 30% of our listeners. I'm sorry to bring this up. Tony and I have not talked about it. The Bears are 0-2. They got drubbed last night, yesterday afternoon. Tony, do you remember the score of the game yesterday?
Dude, I walked away from the game I think before the fourth quarter. I didn't even give him. I was like, this ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, they lost 52 to, I think it was 20. I don't
serious?
know, 21. Yeah, they got 52 hung on them.
I couldn't do it. I had to turn it off. I had to prep for my rock show, TJ. I was playing a rock show yesterday.
Yeah, you played a rock show at the concert, Gabo. You had long hair in Madison Square.
No, man. No, I played Illuminated Brewworks. And shout out to Brian at Illuminated Brewworks. I believe he's a listener of this program, the Untitled Beatles podcast. I'm Tony.
I'm TJ Tony, and this Illuminated Jew works. I've been very busy lately, and I've not seen you in this traditional setup since it is the day after the Bears are 0-2, to give you some frame of reference. I don't know if Casey likes when we set the date on the shows, but I'm just being honest with you. And
September 15th is today.
And Tony, for what it's worth, I don't think I've seen you from my piano since like early August. The last episode we did live, we had Beatlefest, and we were on Zoom while I was in Vegas. So like setting up today felt like a novelty to me.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man. Yeah,
great seeing you.
Happy fall to you, even though it's still very, summer-like in the out of doors.
Yes, Tony. And while you're outdoors, if you can't see Tony in a club, I want to play right now any track Tony wants from his rockin' new album. It clocks in. It's well under a half hour.
Yeah, under 25 minutes.
Can you plug your album? I know you feel weird about it. I'm not doing it to make you feel weird, but it's great. I put it on. It rocks your face off, and then it's over. And that's a compliment to someone making music now.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's the album's called 13 Green Potatoes. Thank you, TJ. The artist name is Mendoza. Turns out there are a lot of artists named Mendoza, so when you put that into your streaming things, there's a lot of very attractive Latin men that will show up, and none of them are me. Took a heavy beating. This heavy heart must go on to fly. Oh no. So search for 13 Green Potatoes. It's 13, I call them boingers, TJ. Those are just great songs. They're boingers because that's what the kids call them.
They give you a boinger. Is that the reason they're called that?
Yeah, man. These are bangers that give you a boinger. So be careful when you're listening, actually.
Tony, you talk about great Latin musicians, and I did type Mendoza. I found your record, but then it automatically took me to John Cicada's 94 hit, If You Go.
You know, I covered that, but the record label Mint 400 wouldn't allow me to put that on the record. Well, yeah, man. So how you been? You been going to any record stores lately or anything?
Tony, thanks for the pre-planned setup. You still got it, buddy.
Yeah.
The Valleys rock. It's not changed since then. No, in fact, thanks for asking, Tony. I did take myself to a record store. I had a gig in Oak Brook, Illinois. It's the southwest, around the southwest suburbs, and I'm not there all that often. And I tried a record store. They advertise on XRT. And I've always wanted to go in there. And Tony, I've got to say, I wish you'd been with me, buddy. I spent 90 minutes there on my way to a gig because I allowed a ton of time for this. Tony, it's one of my favorite record stores I've ever been to. It has the greatest selection of everything random, specific, and cool. And this record store will be right back. And we're back, folks. I'm talking, of course, about Blue Village Vinyl in Westmont.
Oh.
Andy was there. We talked for a while. Kit O'Toole, great Beatle podcaster.
Sure, yeah.
She apparently lives around there. She makes appearances there. The Beatles selection's great. But yeah, I judge a record store at this point in my life by how much stuff do they have. And even if I'm only interested in 30% of it, being surrounded by cassettes and 8-tracks and blank media and DVDs and a ton of vinyl, 45s, boxes and boxes of them. It's a great place to crate dig. I was wearing a suit. I was doing a Second City show, so I was not on my knees looking for cassettes, but I looked at so much vinyl, and I got a couple things too. So yeah, Blue Village Vinyl in Westmont, Illinois is one of the great record stores I've ever been to, and print it.
Blue Village Vinyl. We've got a little bit of everything and a lot of many things. Concert tees, electronics, 45s, picture discs, more posters, 10-inch records, magazines, 78s, Susie and the Red Stripes. Hard to find pictures of these Beatles, Stones, Beatle magazines. We have soundtracks, comedy albums, celebrity records, 12-inch singles, tons of CDs, blank cassettes, and miscellaneous. You'll find some unusual stuff here. We call it oddball.
Blue Village Vinyl.
At 29 East Chicago Avenue in Westmont.
Now, TJ, I guess we'll call this part 4 of our Help deep dish.
Good. We didn't talk enough about it. when I heard, I kept saying, this scene is wonderful. What a well-shot scene. This music is glorious. 2 fabs. I kept loving it, then complaining.
That's what we all kind of were doing. Yeah. It's been kind of a complaining couple of episodes from us lately. So we've got our eye on that and our ears on that. And we're going to try and be loving Beatle fans for you, enthusiasts.
Like Peter Jackson taught us, even the breakup was a joy. And Tony, everything Calderstone touches is for the fan, regardless of how much money they may not have. Thank you, Calderstone. Take it, Tony.
Oh, thank you, Calderstone. Thank you.
Calderstone! That's my Kylie.
Well, you were watching and you had a note that you wanted to get in there and you forgot to get to it. What was the note?
It's a double reverse note that listening, when I watched Help for the episode review, I watched the Blu-ray in 5.1. And I ran to the TV, and I went, oh my God, it's a different vocal track on the night before.
Right.
And I jotted it down, I underlined it, and we didn't get to it. And then after we talked about it, after the episode aired, I'm like, oh, I wish I got into that. I went back and listened to it again with headphones and normal, PCM stereo or whatever the normal stereo is.
Sure.
And it's not a different vocal track. The 5.1 mix of it threw me off.
Got it. So
it was a weirdo moment.
I don't have the 5.1. So does that mean you have 5 speakers? Can you explain to me with this 5.1 jazz?
I don't have 5 speakers. I have 3 speakers, but I listen to 5.1 because it mixes it down to left, right, and center.
Okay.
Great NPR show. Oh, by the way, send money to your local NPR. We don't need Untitled Beatles podcast. I shouldn't be saying this, but don't give us your money. Send it to your local NPR or PBS affiliate because what's happening to them is stupid.
Yeah.
One of the many things. But no, so the double tracking is so prominent in a way that isn't on, whether it's the George Martin remix, the original 65 stereo mix, that it really threw me for a curve. That's a song I've heard over 5,000 times.
Right. Yeah.
And watching the movie for the research, I mean, I've seen the movie 8 times. So it's not like the movie's just steeped in me as a Hard Day's Night, but I went to the TV and I was like, oh, goodness. And then I replayed it and realized, maybe edibles aren't a good decision.
Yeah, but if it gave you a different mix, that's kind of cool.
That's the new dude. Giles Martin just going to send edibles and say,
Yeah.
I can put on something new. You'll hear it different.
Yeah, you'll hear it different. Put it on. You only need 3 speakers. Those ones behind you. Don't even worry about that. Give those to your dog.
It's that high-pitched sound. That's Dave Dexter screaming from the netherworld.
Well, it's funny with the night before because recently on our Discord, Glenn the K. By the way, yeah, if you join Patreon, we have a Discord, and it's a great little, clubhouse of people talking about the Fabs and keeping it civil and fun and discovery-like. And he posted a BBC recording of the night before, which somehow, man, I had never heard.
And just in case you didn't catch it, this is the Beatles and the night before.
We've said our goodbye, night before. Love was in your eyes, night before. Now today I find you have changed your mind. Treat me like you did the night before.
Yeah, BBC at the Piccadilly Studios, I think it is, May 26, 1965. It sounds great. How is this not included on the BBC albums that came out?
Dude, not only that, but at Beatlefest in the summer of 2000, I picked up a CD and a hashtag fat box called Anthology Plus. I went back and checked it out after we talked to Anthology. I don't know if this bootleg floated around for a while. It's basically the stuff that was on the singles For Real Love and Free as a Bird and augmented with a bunch of other stuff. That and a BBC rehearsal take, If I Should Have Known Better, are both on Anthology Plus. How in the world could it have been left off BBC Volume 2, or even, why not put that on Anthology 4? Put the 5 great BBC things that haven't been released officially.
Yeah.
We're not going to complain. Calderstone is perfect. Everything Apple does is fairly priced.
Calderstone is perfect. Apple is fairly priced. Calderstone is perfect. Apple is fairly priced.
Tony, I also salute Friday Music for their $45 LP 180 gram of Bad Boy. I needed that. Thank you, Friday Music. Tony, I was browsing online at Beatles stuff, looking on Discogs, and I started to see some versions of George Harrison CDs, some that are out and some that are coming out, on Dark Horse Records, which is now owned by BMG. It was affiliated with EMI since the mid-2000s. So when the George Harrison vinyl came out, that was all EMI. Now they're back on Dark Horse, run by Danny, and they're releasing what are called Eco Wallet CD versions of the entire George Harrison catalog.
Okay.
Where it's like a gatefold paper or cardboard. I don't have one, but from what I can see online, it's like a cardboard fold-out. the disc goes in one sleeve and the liner notes go in the other sleeve. And the last time these CDs were released, they have, the normal plastic jewel box, not eco-friendly, but it makes things like now Extra Texture will have a gatefold, which it's never had. To me, some of that stuff, like Somewhere in England and the self-titled album with your track, Faster, and the prelude of a minute and a half of car noises.
My favorite part.
Nice motor.
Nice motor. Nice motor.
They're pretty cool, Tony, and I want to rebuy albums that weren't originally gatefold on CD just to see with the gatefold. Like, that's how you get me. They're going to make Gun Troppo a gatefold for $14. Fine.
Yeah, I mean, what I read was that they were reissuing George's catalog on the Digipack, which is, a lot of the indie bands would put out Digipacks in the 90s, the cardboard stuff without the plastic. A little bit of plastic on the inside, but generally cardboard.
But they're calling it an eco wallet on the George Harrison website. It's an eco wallet.
Well, pull out your eco wallet, TJ.
TJ Shanoff must collect all the records.
Hey, let's give a shout out to those who pull out their eco wallets every month for us. We have a Patreon, and thank you so much for listening and contributing and keeping the things running. That's why we are able to afford things like Riverside.fm.
And thanks to you, Patreon subscribers. I'm going to rebuy everything in an eco wallet and put it in my eco pocket. That's not true, but Tony, the things that our Patreon subscribers do truly help the show. Things like Beatlefest and things like equipment for the show. We are very grateful. And in fact, let's read them names.
Okay, here's our Star Club roll call.
Long live George Harrison.
Alan the K.
Matt Kuharski.
Beetle Dave, a.k.a. DZ Keys.
Susan from Baltimore.
Bert Chide.
Joanne S.
David S. from Chicago.
Max Como in Montreal.
Matt Meyer from Spring Hill, Tennessee.
Mick B. from Minnesota.
Nowhere Doug Tabor.
Stephen A.
Mary Kate.
Skylar.
Mr. D. Sticker.
Michael S.
Cat V from Minneapolis.
Anthony P. in Portland.
Terrence D.
Dave B.
Mark Guarino in Chicago.
Steve L. from a little town in Indiana.
Robbie 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Russell B.
Terry B. from Appleton, Wisconsin, home of Wisconsin's hottest fuck rock. Turn the dial, we cut your hand off.
WFUK, like Elton John, huh? You're about to get whipped in my truck. It's gotta be not you, Casey. Mike from Southern Illinois.
Adam A. from Australia.
Stephanie B. from Chicago.
Yeah. Jimmy Dean. Yum yum.
G Spice and Mimsy Forever. Double yum yum.
Chuck M.
Dan I.
JFM.
Vinny P.
Sugar Plum Fairy. Sugar Plum Fairy.
John R.
Yo, Adrian M. Kensington, Brooklyn.
Barry in South Carolina.
Gunner in Denmark.
Star.
Christian in D.C.
Steve My Kitten Alone.
And TJ and producer KC. Our newest member, Amanda S.
I'm gonna take you by surprise and make you realize, Amanda. Yep. Remember that one?
I do. Boston. Now, TJ, since we're plugging my music in this episode, I wrote a song.
And my Boston covers. Go on, Tony.
I wrote a song named Amanda, and let's hear that. It's by a band called Let's Get Out of This Terrible Sandwich Shop with Amanda. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, the Boston one's better, but carry on, my wayward son. No, that's Kansas.
The Boston one got more spins, and the Kansas one got more spins, too, so. All right, man. Let's get to it, man. We both saw Ringo Starr separately, though, we saw Ringo live at the Chicago Theater in the year 2025.
We had separate ways, Tony, but you could hear me screaming, apparently.
I could. Yes. Yeah, man. Yeah, I want to say thank you so much to listener Chris.
Thanks a lot.
I want to say Glenn alerted me to Chris having some extra seats that he was trying to get rid of day before the show. And yeah, man, I hopped on that and got to hang out with Chris. Great listener. He's a VHS enthusiast, a wonderful cat caretaker. I hung out with Chris and his dad, Tom, and we had these great seats, man, in the booth. I got to sit in a booth like I was like in the Rat Pack or something.
You know, Tony, you know who else sat in a booth in a theater?
Uh-oh.
Led Zeppelin, being honored by Jack Black and being told that Zeppelin's better than the Beatles and the Stones.
Wow.
You ever see that clip?
Led Zeppelin, the greatest rock and roll band of all time. Yeah. That's right. Better than the Beatles, better than the Stones, even better than Tenacious D.
Sounds like it pissed you off a lot.
No, it's okay, because I understand where Jack Black's coming from. And it made Letterman sitting next to Jimmy Page smile.
Okay. There you go.
So that's, you know, I can't fault people who love Led Zeppelin. Tony, I went as well. And it's part of, I'm giving my son 2 Beatles in 2 months. We got to see Ringo. And then I'm going to take him to go see Paul. Of course, my wife was there too. And yeah, I mean, I'll give you my thesis. Like, you and I saw him together in 2023, a mere 2 years ago. It was, 2 years and a month ago. Tony, I've seen Ringo now 8 or 9 times, and I've never heard him sound better at 85 years old. My jaw was on the floor for a lot of that show at how not just great he looked, but how great Ringo Starr sounds in 2025. What the hell?
Yeah. He's doing it right. I mean, I guess, you know, he's thin as a rail. He's closing the show. He's doing jumping jacks. This is an 85-year-old man who's out there slinking, and he's still playing the drums, and he's still doing the Ringo stuff with the head bobbing just like he did when he was, you know, in his early 20s. Like, it hasn't changed. It's crazy. My conspiratorial tendencies are telling me that this is probably a double. And I think the double is actually a guy from Michigan named Paul McCartney, who replaced the original Beatle, Michael Campbell, a.k.a. Billy Shears, who was from Michigan. I'm going to travel to Michigan this weekend to get to the bottom of this. There's a mound, and I'm bringing a shovel and 3 of my drinking buddies, and we're going to get to the bottom of this.
Bring a mound, not a shovel, Tony.
No, it's just crazy that he's still doing it, man.
What's my name? What's my name? Makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Should we talk about this lineup? It's pretty similar to the last one with one.
Kind of. The lineup's a bit of a there's a diminishing returns for the All-Star band since they began in '89.
Yeah. Well, it's Ringo, of course, and Steve Lukather from Toto still doing it. Who's the one that's been there the longest with these guys? Is it, I guess, maybe Bissonette? I don't know. Greg Bissonette on drums.
It's got to be Steve Lukather, I'm guessing, has been with him the longest.
Greg Bissonette has been playing drums for Ringo since 2008, whereas Steve Lukather joined the band in 2012.
Warren Ham from Kansas and Toto.
Which to me sounds like, I keep mentioning Judaism in the show, but again, that sounds like what people accuse us of having as far as an agenda, war on ham.
I know.
Ham.
You got to get off those deep... You got to get on the right conspiracy stuff, TJ. This conspiracy stuff that makes you happy, not angry. I can't wait to go to Michigan with my drinking buddies and plow away at this mound.
while you're plowing away, I'll be singing my Wilco Yankee Hotel Foxtrot parody, There's a War on Ham.
Now, was he also, I don't know why I don't have this written down. Is Warren Ham the average white band connection?
Hamish Stewart's average white band. I don't know.
Hamish Stewart. That's what it is. I didn't write him down.
Warren Ham took over for Mark Rivera, who I saw for years. Mark Rivera was Billy Joel's saxophone player. I don't know why he hasn't played with Ringo, but for like 20 years, the War on Ham role was, well, take War on Ham on a roll. No mayo! And it was Mark Rivera from Billy Joel's band.
Got it. I had forgotten Hamish Stewart and forgot to include him in my personnel list here. We've forgotten Hamish Stewart.
Forgotten Hamish Stewart. I kept yelling obscure 89-90 McCartney tour requests at him. That was me in the background going, figure of eight.
Is that? Yeah, I couldn't. All I heard was you screaming. All I heard was like, ah! And I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying, but that's TJ.
At various points, I yelled the following: figure of eight. Now and then. Way to the world.
And you did Now and Then, right, which I believe that upset. For some reason, Now and Then was the one that pissed people off.
Two people looked at me very angrily when I yelled Now and Then in front of my embarrassed child and over it wife. She's like, you promised me Colin Hay would do some of his solo stuff. I'm like, yeah. It's okay. I lied.
Yeah, Colin Hay from Men at Work. To me, like, he was my favorite of all the non-Ringos.
He's great, and he's shredded occasionally. Like, the musicianship, Steve Lukather, you can mock Toto all you want. Steve Lukather is like a great, generationally great guitar player who's been part of, whether it's the Thriller album or all the Toto stuff, he's been part of some of the biggest albums in music history. He's no schlub. And Colin Hay, too, then it gets a little thin.
Yeah. Well, there's a new edition. So instead of Edgar Winter, which, man, those are some big shoes to fill, it's Buck Johnson. And he is a relief pitcher for the Seattle Mariners. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong Buck Johnson. No, he's like a keyboardist in Aerosmith and the Hollywood Vampires, my favorite band, the Hollywood Vampires.
Are those the ones who do Come and Get It with Johnny Depp and McCartney does this? Yeah, maybe it's Come and Get It.
Whatever the thing with Johnny Depp.
And Joe Perry.
Yeah, it's that thing. I think their names were Now and Then, and they were just turning around. Yeah, what do you want?
Yeah, who are we talking to, now or then?
Yeah. So, yeah, Buck Johnson from the Hollywood Frankensteins was there. But I was glad that he actually did not get a spotlight. We didn't have to hear, like, Alicia Silverstone era Aerosmith songs.
I was CD Aerosmith. I was Crying When I Met You. And
yeah, those three songs that all sound the same.
Just the beginning. You'll also get Crazy Amazing.
Crazy, amazing, it's crazy, you're amazing.
Amazing Crazy Crying.
Amazing, crazy, crying, it's amazing.
Crying Crazy Amazing Crazy.
I'm crying crazy.
So that's the band. I thought they sounded good, and I will say this, I'll confess to this. The seats were so good that I couldn't find the seats.
You're just not used to being moving on up to the east side, are you?
Right. Well, the ticket said booth S, the letter S. And I went, to the mezzanine level, and one of the workers there was like, oh, I don't know what that is. I think it's row S is up above. So I went up above. And while I was up above, I ran into our listener and friend and performer at the Beatlefest talent competition, Robin.
Hey, Robin! We love Robin.
Yeah.
Don't wake me, no, don't shake me, leave me where I am. I'm only sleeping.
So I ran into Robin and his lady friend up there. And yeah, we chatted for a while. And then I was like, oh, I better try and find this seat. And so Ringo starts and he's playing Honey Don't. And I'm like up and down the stairs looking for, where's this S? And one guy's like, go down. And so I went down. And
did he buy you dinner first?
Oh, this gets good, TJ, because spoiler, I turned into a male Karen, if you will. So I go down, and then the same woman that helped me before was like, no, it's up. So then I'm up, and at this point, It Don't Come Easy is playing. And I'm like, I hear it, and I'm like walking up and down, and then I see the guy again. I'm like, hey, I can't find this. And he's like, I told you to go down. He's like yelling at me. And I'm like, well, I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking work here. I'm like, it was bad.
Got to pay your dues if you want to sing the pool. Yeah. Tony's having a stroke.
I mean, it was funny that there's these two like negative songs playing Honey Don't and It Don't Come Easy as I'm struggling to find the seats. So finally, I went down where the booths are under the balconies and all that. And voila, I came in during Rosanna, the Toto song.
Yeah, which I know. What do you say? Toto 4? You say is, while not a Pavement record, one of your most influential?
I call it Toto IV.
Oh, and I love it, Toto IV.
And that's what it feels like, because it's like 9 minutes of Rosanna.
Yeah, and it gives Ringo a chance to thump for a while. It is still so funny, and I felt this having seen the All-Stars for years when you look up and Ringo's playing drums on Rosanna.
Yeah,
it's just that's the greatest. Because think about when Rosanna was released, that's the year of Old Wave. I don't know how Ringo was not playing drums in front of people until 89 again.
Right.
So, you know what? He did that Carl Perkins tribute in 85, but in terms of like a tour.
I mean, no, right.
So, speaking of no, we'll get to this, but he trotted out the roughest musical moment of the night. Later on, he trots out No song. We'll save that, but Rosanna's, it's my wife and I were kind of laughing. Oh, your anger, by the way, was matched by we were so excited talking about taking my 9-year-old to see a Beatle and this, that, and the other, and all excited for all week. And my wife gave him a little, now this is important to Dad, so even if you don't love it. And he was so excited the morning of, well, I met them because I came from a gig.
Right,
and
they straight from a gig.
Straight from a gig, so I was hauling ass. I had a gig right by Water Tower Place, and I was rushing to get there in traffic. So I'm a little hot, and the Potbellies across the street from the Chicago Theater, as my wife and son learned as they were waiting in line for 20 minutes, did not have mac and cheese. Well, my son just got braces. It's the only thing he'll eat without freaking out. So we apparently tried to eat a PBJ from Potbellies and was grumpy. And by the time I showed up, he spent the first third of the concert having a tantrum. So you're kept on your seat. Honey Don't, It Don't Come Easy. And I'm just like, it's Ringo singing a Beatles song and Honey Don't. And my son is screaming because they ran out of mac and cheese 30 minutes previous. And that's when I went from, I don't need a drink tonight, to I'm getting a double bourbon. So I had a rough start too, Tony.
I went and got a beer during one of the Average White Band portions.
Cut the cake. Pick up the pieces. Here's a direction. Stop telling me what to do. Their songs are endless grooves that make commands.
Right. Advice funk. Yeah, so yeah, Pick Up the Pieces, that one. But then, Down Under, Men at Work. I like that. That's fun.
It's so great. Colin Hay is a treasure. His 3 songs were highlights of the night.
Yeah.
And 2 of the 3 were among the biggest hits of the 1980s, which is kind of fun too.
Yeah, man. And his voice still sounds the same. Like he can still hit that octave thing that
I can't get to sleep. Yeah.
I can't.
Nope.
I'm like half his age. I can't do. Well, I'm not half his age.
Wishful thinking.
Fuck, man. I'm not half his age anymore. There was a moment when I was.
Math's weird.
Math is weird.
Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work?
Yeah, man. So that's a great moment seeing one of the great 80s songs played live, and he can still play and sing. He's also really tight with Ringo. One of the things I don't want to lose sight of, this seems obvious, but with the exception of like Todd Rundgren at the end and maybe a few other people, most of the people who played with Ringo, it's like a dream come true for them.
Sure.
And I know Todd Rundgren, diehard Beatle fan, but I think by the end he was like, yeah, I got to play the same 3 songs every night with the same people and play their songs. I think Todd Rundgren loved Ringo. I think he was just bored with the whole thing. But all these guys, Lukather, Colin Hay especially, you can see them smitten to be playing with an 85-year-old Beatle. Like, they can't get over that they're playing Honey Don't with Ringo and Yellow Submarine. It's really cool to see that love and adulation from his sidemen.
I thought Boys sounded good. And that's where I saw Ringo. Like, I saw 22-year-old Ringo there as an 85-year-old playing that one, singing Behind the Kit, which is cool.
So fun. He's changed the key for several years doing it live.
Is that right?
Come on, Ringo.
His voice sounds good, though. Like, his singing voice. You can hear the age when he speaks. By the way, what'd you think of his crowd work? He had some crowd work that night.
Yeah, it's dialed down a lot. Like, he doesn't do as much of the, what's my name?
That's fine. He did it once or twice.
What's my name? He used to do it, I feel like, every 10 minutes.
Two's enough for me, man. I don't need that. Yeah. I mean, otherwise it starts sounding like a cult, man.
What's my name? Ringo! What's my name? Ringo! What's my name? Ringo! What's my name? Ringo! What's my name?
Calderstone is good.
What's my name?
Apple is fairly priced.
What's my name?
More John Lennon reissues that leave potentially controversial things off.
Yes.
Charge double.
Lobotomize the Lennon catalog.
New from Calderstone EMI, it's lobotomized Lennon. You'll get all the John with none of the snark.
Yeah. Shed the feeling of life.
Hey, how come we didn't get invited to no Big Beatle thing anymore?
Gee, I wonder. That's right. We're never selling out to the man. We're going to die on this mound. By the way, bring your shovel to the mound. It's the coordinates. Let me get the coordinates.
By the way, I am not a religious man, but the shovel on the mound sermon is one of my...
Well, there's a moment in the show where someone handed Ringo a cowboy hat, because he's got his country album out now. And the hat said Ringo on it, I presume. It was a big white cowboy hat. And he's like, oh, it's mine now.
Do Do you think he does it in every city? Is that a hat plant?
Oh, a hat plant. Yeah.
Seemed like could have been a hat plant.
That's my third favorite classic comedy is the hat plant. After the hot foot and the buzzer on the handshake, it's the hat plant.
There's a couple hot foot restaurants in Evanston. Pretty good. Rick Rubin loves them.
Have you ever tried the Yogato spreaders with a tofu steak and gluten brown sauce?
You know, he did I'm the Greatest. These are songs we saw him do 2 years ago. I'm the Greatest, Yellow Submarine, where they tease us with Day Tripper and Please Please Me.
You know what? You know, because it's your gig, really. You pick the song. Any song you pick. We're not doing that one. Okay, just give me the chord. We're not doing that one either. Okay.
Why those two songs?
I don't
It's kind of
know.
neat.
They're really trolling you.
Totally.
I love that they learned that much, but like, nope, can't do the rest of it. Not a Ringo song. By the way, that's also especially when I heard you screaming. That might have been the first time I heard you scream something was in between the Day Tripper bit.
Well, I was hoping they were going to go into P.S. Love Me Do because I was ready to yell, Andy White!
As I write this letter.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, but before we move on too far from that,
yes,
hearing Ringo sing "I'm the Greatest" and telling the story about how it was written and talking about John there is special. Hearing Ringo talk about John at the Chicago Theater is just one of those moments in my heart that I won't forget. It's again, the opportunities to hear that are other than watching Anthology, but to hear that live, Tony, that was a moment that felt very special, just hearing something as simple. And it'll make me appreciate when Paul tells the same stories when I see him in November that much more, because those stories aren't going to go on forever. So I took great note of how neat it was to be in a room where Ringo is singing a song John wrote for him and talking about why. Tony, next up is a 22-minute medley that even Ringo acknowledges, I'm getting the fuck out of here while you're forced to listen to this.
Yeah.
And it's the Average White instruction song, Cut the Cake.
Yes.
And it's incorporated with like 12 or 13 classic rock riffs and references that showcase how great of a drummer Greg Bissonette is and are an excuse for everyone to get a drink.
Yes. It was during Cut the Cake when I went and got a couple of beers.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's when I got my double makers. Thank you, makers.
Out of the 12 songs, he does a couple Led Zeppelin. He does some Van Halen. He does like an obscure Rush tune, which early on, which I always thought is very interesting. Is it YYZ? I think he does a little bit of.
Do you think the only Rush song that matters is Free Will, and I don't care about my neighbor, I care about me? 2025.
All right, question to you, TJ. Which song is more country? Okay. Look Up from Ringo's newest country record, or the song that precedes it in the set, Octopus's Garden?
Gotta be, as great as Look Up is, it's Octopus's Garden, and Ringo, since he's been doing it live, has leaned into the country of it, even way more than Abbey Road.
I'd like to be under the sea in Octopus's garden in a shade.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. To me, Octopus's Garden's a country song. I don't know how Look Up is a country song. It sounds like a Ringo song. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he had to put that hat on. He chose not to wear the hat. He said it was too big. It was as big as a canoe. And so he gave it back. But I would buy Look Up as a country song if he had the hat on. Otherwise, it's just a Ringo song. It could be on Vertical Man.
It's a long way down, and there's no bottom. You had the blues, but you forgot 'em. Look up in the midnight hour. Look up.
Yeah, I was still hoping he'd do Look Up, Look Down, Look All Around, parentheses, Satellite, by the Dave Matthews Band. You know, those river poopers.
If Ringo lives to be 95, there will be somebody, the guy that plays the 7-string bass, you know, from Dave Matthews Band playing with them.
Oh my God, buddy. 95-year-old Ringo in the All-Star Band. Who would it be?
Yeah, it'd be guys from Counting Crows, Dave Matthews, like whoever's alive.
Dave Grohl?
Yeah, Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl's got to do it.
I don't. Here's the thing. I think Grohl's going to keep doing his Foo Fighters thing or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's going to downgrade to the Ringo Band.
No, that's an upgrade. Dave Grohl, John Waite
All right,
of Missing
let's
You.
Get real. Let's get real.
Find out what happens.
What? When people stop being polite. Could you get the phone?
And start getting real. The real world.
No shade on these guys. They're all talented, but, you know, it's not like, there's not guys from the biggest bands in the world. They're guys from, you know, bands that had a couple hits here and there. They're not.
Toto won a Grammy, son.
Yeah, Grammys, man. Come on. Yeah.
I know. Best heavy metal album winner, soundtrack, An Officer and a Gentleman. Very funny.
This is the first heavy metal Grammy for Joe Cocker and Jennifer Warnes.
Yeah, man. You mentioned the No song, so he played it. I remember you wishing he played this 2 years ago, and he didn't. But yeah, so instead of Back Off Boogaloo, which we heard 2 years ago, we get the No song. I feel like those are the interchangeable songs there.
Yeah, he rotates them a bit like Paul rotates, I think, A Hard Day's Night, and I think it's Can't Buy Me Love, where just certain songs you kind of switch out from show to show. I love No song. I loved this song the first time I heard it. I bought the Blast from Your Past CD in 1988 at the Sound Warehouse on Rush. That's the first Ringo CD I ever had. That's how I got to know the Ringo solo catalog. And the song has always been so fun to me that to hear him do it live, but you could tell they hadn't done it in a while. It started out very tentative. And in fact, Tony, a couple times during this show, because it was their first show back after a long hiatus, they kind of said, well, we're going to do things a little different. Ringo goes, I don't even know what's next. Do you remember that? A couple times he said, I'm not even sure. Someone's got to tell me what the next song is. And this was one of those moments. And I think that's why it started a bit tentative.
No, thank you, please. It only makes me see. And it makes it hard to find the door.
Right. Yeah, this is the kickoff show on this new tour. They've had a couple months off, and this is their first show back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool. I love that he picked Chicago, and now he's off to Vegas, I think, for like a 6-night residency, and then some more West Coast stuff.
Yeah, he did a bourbon festival in Louisville, I think, over the weekend. I think he did a truncated set there, yeah.
Interesting.
It was only Cut the Cake. Cut the cake.
Yeah.
Go find your cars. Wait, it's over?
Yeah. And 37 of your favorite drum intros. Played flawlessly by Greg Bissonette, or Bissonnet, as Ringo says. Yeah. I think one of my favorite moments of the night is actually Overkill by Men at Work, meaning Ringo and the All-Star Band playing Men at Work songs.
You and I loved this moment when we saw it 2 years ago. Carrie and I loved this moment when we saw it. This song was not as big as Who Can It Be Now or Down Under. It was on the following album.
Right.
But this, I think, is one of his best songs. And the band really played this great.
Did they do this last time? I wanted to ask you about this. The Lukather comes out and does a bit like, I've been working on this piece for 45 years and do something a little different tonight. I hope you like it,
Give me a little taste.
And they basically go into the Spinal Tap Jazz Odyssey thing.
Yeah, I don't remember if he did that or not last year. I don't remember that. I don't think they did, because if you remember, Cut the Cake kind of went into Frankenstein with Edgar Winter. That was kind of the mashup they did last time. So I don't think there was as much quote-unquote time to kill. And as much as I liked the bit, it was a little too Spinal Tappy on the nose.
I'm just kidding.
So after the Jazz Odyssey bit, they go into Africa, the Toto song. That's fun. It's just fun. It's still fun.
It's fun. It's a party song. For a while, the Norwegian cruise line was doing a show about different cultures, and when they got to Africa, this is the song they played. That's not a joke. When I was working on, I don't know if your ship had these shows. There was a show called like Colors or Global Painting or something, and when it came to talking about Africa, they sang Africa. So that's what's up. But yeah, I mean, you know what? It is. It's just a fun song. It's one of the biggest songs of the late 82, early 83, and it's fun to hear. You got to have, I won't put this on a mix, but I was overjoyed to hear it live.
Yeah, it's fun.
Warren Ham with some of the great harmonies, buddy.
Yeah, he's hitting the high notes, right? You got to give it. Shout out to the War on Ham for that, man.
That used to be when I saw it many years ago. That used to be the guy from Mr. singing the high parts. Can't remember his name, but he sure did Kyrie eleison.
The guy from Mr. has a name. His name is Richard Page. And he once performed in a production of Oliver.
They do this Isley Brothers song, Work to Do, for some reason, and then...
Okay, I not mentioned this yet on this episode. We talked about this 2 years ago. One of the coolest things, Tony, is seeing somebody who was part of McCartney's band for several albums and several tours, now in Ringo's band. That does not happen. And Hamish Stewart was part of the band that got Paul back on the road in 89. He also did the 92, 93 tour, the New World Tour. He played on Off the Ground, played Flowers in the Dirt. It's just neat that as much as it's kind of a waste of a slot, he's a great musician. He's a great singer. Hamish Stewart, best known for duetting with Paul on what became Ivory and Ivory. Yeah. With these two white guys singing Ebony and Ivory, which even at 14, I'm like, what in the fuck? What are you doing? But at any rate, it's cool that we got to see someone play with Ringo, who is a big part of bringing Paul back to the road for the first time since in America since 76.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he should just do a Paul song instead.
That's why I was yelling Figure of Eight. Or he does caterwauling on Long and Winding Road. Let's cue the single live version of Long and Winding Road where Hamish Stewart caterwauls in the instrumental part.
Okay, man, finally Ringo comes back. It feels like forever, and we get I Want to Be Your Man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Again, another great moment. Seeing Ringo sing I Want to Be Your Man is just tremendous.
Yeah. And we've talked about Men at Work, and we've talked about Toto. We get some more hits from them. Who Can It Be Now? I really like Hold the Line. I'm not a big Toto guy, to be quite honest, but that song, I don't know. I can't dispute that song. It's good.
I remember you saying that the last show that was probably your favorite Toto song. It's a great tune.
Yeah. I mean, it rocks, you know?
War on Ham also did a nice job with the "Not Understand the Way of Mine." Woo woo! He did a nice job with that.
TJ, are you auditioning for Ringo's band? It's gonna be you,
gonna come down to
the guy from Dave Matthews, 7-string bass,
Ringo, and the Second City All Stars.
Ringo, TJ Jagodowski, Susan Messing. One of the guys from Counting Crows. A gin blossom.
Doing lobby magic, Mick Napier. I'd go see that. I wouldn't even want to MD it. And then I'd go, how come I didn't get the job MDing that? Yeah, so Tony, great songs. And then Ringo does Photograph, which usually, correct me if I'm wrong, for years he's talked about it in the context of this is one that I now think of George every time I sing it. I didn't hear, because he doesn't do Never Without You anymore, but I didn't hear his George Harrison tribute, which makes me wonder, a la New York Post, if I were the New York Post or, you know, like a Fox Nation, has Ringo turned his back on the ghost of George?
Right. Well, it's the first night of the tour. He might have just, you know, this might be one of the things that just, you know, goes with age.
Yep.
He can still do those jumping jacks, but he might forget to plug George's memory. Plug it.
Plug it!
There's a plug for you.
Plug it. People need to buy those, what are they, eco wallets? We have two final songs, and they're both thankfully from Ringo. Well, yeah, they're from Ringo. Act Naturally, his cover, his Buck Owens cover.
And it's so funny because no matter what, he always starts at a hair flat. You cannot auto-tune Ringo.
No. We haven't talked about that, but yeah, people have been saying John is auto-tuned on the new Lennon thing coming out. What do you think about that?
What's interesting, because I don't think that's John on Now and Then.
What do you mean? You think it's...
Buddy, I think we've been fooled. And I think, I don't know what news sources you read or what you're doing online.
Hold on. Let me do a little research. Hold on.
Typing sound.
Right here on fabconspiracy.gov. David Leon is actually the singer. Look, there's this paperwork that David Leon signed, an NDA I just found.
And Derek Lee's father, Leon Lee, has something to do with it.
Right, and Lee Atwater played the bass, I think.
What?
The show closes with a little help from my friends. We all know this is coming. And I will say this, man. Thank God Bissonette gave it a nice, upbeat tempo.
Yeah, we joke about the Bissonette 22-minute drum riffs. He was amazing, and the way he plays with and defers to Ringo should not be understated. He's a perfect leader and complement to Ringo Starr.
Because the last version I heard of Help from My Friends, I think was the your favorite with John Travolta in there from Grease, TJ. And it was slow, is my point. It felt like a dirge. It felt like, oh, God, is this Ringo's funeral? You know?
God forbid.
So thank God, Bissonette, thank you. You brought it up. Yeah, it was fun. It's fun. You get to sing along. I mean, I'm not a sing along at concerts guy, but I'll sing portions for that. It's fun.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say about With Little Help from My Friends, and it wasn't always this way live, is it becomes an excuse for long guitar solos.
Oh, right, the solo.
Yeah. I get it. I understand it. The playing's great. I don't need it. I don't need it.
You know what I would love to hear? If they're going to put a guitar solo, if they're going to Frankenstein a guitar solo into With a Little Help from My Friends, it should be the All You Need Is Love solo. It should just be like 2 lines and then like and then see ya. Yeah.
George's like, I'm late for tea.
Yeah.
Okay, but then it finally ends, and he's been doing this for a few years. He then kicks right in to Give Peace a Chance, which is another nice tribute to John. It's a way for Paul to get paid a little more in a Ringo show, because this is still credited to Lennon McCartney, which is always one of my favorite Give Peace a Chance things at trivia, is it's a Lennon McCartney tune. But yeah, it's nice that they close with that. It's Ringo's message, and it doesn't feel ham-fisted because he's singing the message of John Lennon that also suits what he's trying to accomplish. So I think him doing Give Peace a Chance is a lovely ending.
Yeah, peace and love, man. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Oh, I also yelled out, I think I couldn't get the joke up. It was something about, can I send you things in October?
Please, after the 20th of October, do not send fan mail to any address.
I couldn't get it out. It was post-bourbon.
TJ heckling outtakes.
I mean, I was working on my heckling. No, I mean, some of it's for you. Some's for people who would get, because I want to hear someone screaming "Wait at the World" at a Ringo show in 2025. Wait of the World, I should say. So if someone's not going to do it, I'll do it. Now and then. Okay, Tony, as we wrap this episode, we saw Ringo at 85. You were generously gifted your ticket. I put it on a credit card, hoping for gigs in February to pay it off. So, Tony, it begs the question, if Ringo's here at 87, like, does the game of, oh, I can't miss him, he's 80 blank, continue? I think it will for me. I don't know if I'll take my family again. I'm glad they get to see him once, but...
Call Potbelly first.
Dude.
Potbelly.
But yeah, man, if he's playing in Chicago, I'll probably go see him again, just because there is an inherent magic to being in a concert hall with the Beatle, and those days won't last forever. And I feel lucky that you and I, even though we weren't together, that we got to see him, and we got some Untitled Beatle friends there as well. That's pretty cool.
That was really cool, man. So, yeah, thank you, Chris, for the tickets. Thank you, Robin, for being there and hanging out. Thank you, TJ, for being there.
Thank you, Potbellies, for just being bought by a southern convenience store chain called Racetracks.
Oh,
so
boy.
maybe when they're run by a southern gas station, they can keep mac and cheese in stock at their busy location in the Loop at 5 in the afternoon. I blame Potbellies for all my problems. Know why I'm overweight? Had a couple wrecks.
Potbelly.
We are becoming the guy at the bar. We are so close to being the guys at the bar screaming into the clouds.
And how come when I walk by the ABC 7 window, Diane Burns ain't waving back at me?
Yeah. Why did they make Kathy Brock retire? I used to follow her home.
I swear I like the women, but I would love a back rub from Jerry Taft.
Thank you to our producer, Casey, for somehow making sense of this madness. And our crack social media sergeant, Glenny the K.
Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to everybody who votes like normal people.
And buys Calderstone product. Calderstone is my spirit animal. Calderstone is my spirit.
Untitled Beatles podcast. Like and subscribe.
A Ron Howard film.